5 minutes at the very most.
Thank you again, Chairman, Speaker, and honorable members. Nice to be here, and my initial gratitude to the President for nominating me to this position of Cabinet Secretary, Roads and Transport. Mr. Chairman, let me fast forward. I graduated in the year 1985 with a degree in physics and computer science from the University of Nairobi, and thereafter went into telecommunication industry, where I joined Kenya Post and Telecommunications and worked as a teletraffic engineer after a 9-month course at the then Central Training School, where I learned the intricacy of managing traffic going into the various routes across the whole world, dimensioning, congestion, and things like that. Subsequently, I did rise in that position to the level of general manager, where I managed the ICT, Information, Communication, and Technology. And in the nascent period of liberalization, I managed the divestiture and liberalization of telecommunication as a change manager, where we did at that time the communication authorities, laws and regulations that spinned off what is now the Communication Authority, which is the regulator in the telecoms industry, spinned off Postal Corporation and Telecoms Kenya, and issued the various licenses to Safaricom and Celtel at that time. Something that then catapulted the growth of telecommunication in what became competitive and very competitive from the monopolistic management of telecommunication at that time done by Kenya Post and Telecommunications. I later on moved on, honorable members, chairman, as commissioner, where I worked in the interim Electoral Commission. Soon after the challenge that this country faced during the post-election, I came in as one of the electoral commissioners, where I spearheaded various reforms, processes that built confidence that had been totally destroyed in the electoral process, and where Kenyans at that time did not believe in exercising their democratic right through the vote or the ballot. We built system at one time, Chairman, honorable members, the Electoral Commission at that time was the most trusted organization in Kenya, ahead of the media and of course ahead of Parliament at that time. Honorable members, after the term of reform, which also catapulted the promulgation of the new constitution, where we ran the referendum in the year 2010, we were part of crafting Chapter 7 of the constitution, which today really brings out the electoral process, management of the credibility of the vote, to the extent that when the ballots are counted at the polling station and transmitted to the central tallying center, it doesn't matter what you do at the central tallying center, because the results would have been announced in each and every of the 22,000 plus polling centers in the country, with the technology that pushes them to the cloud today, and everybody participates in the counting. Even when we've had the results we had in 2 years, where the difference between the winning party and the losing party was 60,000, we were able to come out of the electoral process with acceptance of those electoral results. In the year 2012, I had a stint of going close to politics when I became the Secretary General of the then party, URP, where we worked with a number of leadership to form government, and I then thereafter was nominated and subsequently appointed to the position of Cabinet Secretary, Energy and Petroleum, a role I did work on for 2 years before a list of shame was placed to Parliament, and I was one of them, and of course several members of Parliament. And we went through the due process, and we got out of it over time, but not before some of our careers were unnecessarily tainted because of the procedure that was adopted at that time. Honorable members, I have walked the journey, and I come here today, 2022 again. I was nominated and appointed after the Kenya Kwanza won to this position that I've been nominated to. I was nominated to the position of Cabinet Secretary, Energy and Petroleum, and I did serve in that position until the 11th of July, when the entire cabinet was dismissed. Honorable members, I have done some significant work in my career, in my journey, in terms of creating and adding value to this economy, in building systems, and I have legacies which I do pride of today. And today I stand before you, I sit before you as a nominee for CS, roads, and transport. Let me leave it at that for now, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, that will do. I will now invite members to file questions to you, starting